Hello and welcome to Open Day. So this is a day that's all about tomorrow. So very happy to have you in the audience here today. And I hope that you are in the right place because this is the session all about marketing and marketing psychology. So my name is Dr. Ginny Weber. I'm a lecturer here in the Department of Marketing. I'm also the course director for one of our degrees, which is the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. So what I'm going to be talking to you about today is both the marketing major sequence, which happens in our Bachelor of Commerce, as well as this other degree for marketing psychology, which is a little bit different, just to make sure everything's clear and that you're in the right session, which I hope that you are. Before I begin with the content, I would like to provide an acknowledgement of country. So I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which our Deakin University campuses all reside. So this acknowledgement is for the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, on whose land our Geelong campuses are located, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, on whose land our Burwood campus is located, and the Gunditjmara people, on whose land our Warrnambool campus is located. So providing that acknowledgement also to elders past and present and any who might be in the audience today. In terms of what this is going to cover, as I said, we're going to talk first about what is marketing. I'm going to have a little video for you guys. Then I'm going to talk about that marketing major, that sequence in the Bachelor of Commerce, provide a course overview, structure, a little bit about employability, graduate employment, what this type of career might look like if it's something that you're considering. Going to move on then to talk about the other degree, the new degree, which is the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, provide some overview, structure, and employment opportunities for this as well. At the end, I'll talk about some general Deakin information, traveling the world, pathways, and the excellent reasons for choosing Deakin. So like I said, starting off with an introduction video.
Peter Drucker, who many would say is the grandfather of management thinking, said in 1967 that marketing is an integral part of all organisations. Without customers, whether they're individual customers, groups of customers, or business-to-business customers, organisations do not exist. Therefore, marketing needs to be integrated across all aspects of a business. About 20 years ago, there was a strong movement in the business world to come to terms with the idea that marketing was everyone's business, that marketing was more than advertising and selling, and that organisations needed to embrace the idea that marketing was a strategic activity, as important as the financial, production, and human resource functions. The only way that marketing can be taken seriously in a contemporary world is if it embraces the idea of marketing as a strategic activity, as important as the financial, production, and human resource functions. Marketing decisions must be based on evidence and take into consideration the broader issues at play in the internal and external environment of the organisation. While marketing incorporates advertising, sales, and promotion, it is important to understand that it is so much more than just these functions. Marketing helps us to understand our customers, our potential customers, and why people aren't our customers, and our markets. It helps us to develop the right products to solve the problems people have now and in the future. It helps us understand our public, our stakeholders, and our shareholders. And it helps us to develop a marketing mix that uses our resources well and is something our target market wants. Marketing is everyone's business.
Okay, so marketing is everyone's business. And what we really mean by that is that marketing is in all of our lives, is a core business function and is a strategic business function. And there's a lot more that goes into it than people typically think. So advertising is something that most people think of right off the hop, but there's a lot more that goes into marketing in terms of understanding your consumers, making strategic decisions, pricing, product development. All of these are an important and integral business function and an important aspect of marketing. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about these two degrees. I do want to highlight at the beginning as we go through this content the core difference between the degrees, because this is a question that definitely comes up, and feel free to ask for more detail in the Q&A that's happening right after this. But the core difference between these two different pathways for marketing, in the Bachelor of Commerce, the marketing major has a business focus to it. So in that major sequence, you will also be taking the business required courses, a bit of finance, accounting, management, human resources, to flesh out a full business acumen. On the other side, the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, instead of those business units that you could take, what you'd be doing is taking a full major sequence in psychology. They're both 3-year degrees, and they both provide you marketing knowledge. One just has a business focus, and the other one has a very strong psychology focus. So that'll become really clear as we go through this material as well. So in terms of the marketing major, Bachelor of Commerce, in this course overview, the information that I'm sure all of you are wondering if you're here at Open Day today. So the ATAR information, the duration of the degree, the campuses. So this degree is actually taught here in Burwood, which is the campus I tend to be at. Also our Geelong Waterfront campus, our cloud campus as well. So for those of you studying online, which is the current climate of things here in 2020, and Warrnambool as well. So I'm not going to read through all the text on the screen here today, but I do want to highlight, no maths score in particular, just this English score, and the application information, if you are interested, is provided here at the bottom of the screen for you. And you might notice that we have a different ATAR for different campuses, and that is simply due to the number of applicants we get for these campuses and therefore the competitiveness of those different campuses. What this course actually looks like in terms of the units that you take, we have our Fundamental Marketing 101, and all of our Bachelor of Commerce students are actually going to take that. So if you're a little bit uncertain about marketing, but you want to enter as a BCom student, definitely you'll be taking Marketing 101, and we hope that you end up falling in love with marketing as much as we love it through that unit. And then after that, the major sequence is going to involve consumer behavior, services, minor units or electives, brand management, communications, which is the unit I teach, which is a very fun class if you do get the opportunity to take it. And then some of our more advanced 3rd-year units as well. So this is what the structure of the degree looks like. And you'll notice we do have, you can take a minor or electives as part of this degree, which is a difference that you'll notice when I get to the course structure for the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. In terms of how it all plays out, not in terms of the specific units that we see on this slide, but the overall kind of meta structure. So there's 8 core business units that I've mentioned, 8 marketing units as part of that major, and then you have a combination of minor, electives, or you can do a second major. You can choose to do a work integrated learning opportunity. There's opportunities for study tours. Currently in the COVID-19 world, of course, there's less study tours happening, but hopefully in the next coming years, we're able to return to our regular study tours as well. There's definitely a lot of opportunities in these degrees though. And for some of those opportunities, there's funding support available as well. I do want to speak a lot to the graduate outcomes. So like I said, there's a tendency for people to think that marketing is predominantly advertising, and advertising is an important function of marketing. So an advertising director is a potential graduate outcome, but there are a lot more than just advertising directors out there. Brand managers, product and category management, customer relations manager is a hugely important emerging career right now. Media directors, event and project managers, and director of digital marketing. And I can say in particular, that is a career that is growing a lot in 2020. Jobs of the future, of course, also exist. So there's a lot of jobs in marketing, careers in marketing that are emerging now that we haven't seen in the last 20 years or even 10 years in some cases. So things about surrounding digital, augmented reality. At this point in time, more than 50% of marketing budgets at companies are going into the digital space. There's a lot of technological advancement, and students with those skills are able to be really well set up for a career. Search engine optimization is quite important, customer touch points, social media managers, and more. The opportunities here keep growing, and I do want to point out that Deakin Talent, and I'll come back to this towards the end, we do have these excellent graduate employment resources for our students as well. Just to give you a bit of a snapshot of what one of these careers might look like, marketing manager is definitely one of the common careers in this space. So what you would do is plan, execute, measure a range of strategic aligned opportunities, supporting the business objective. So coming down from the company, the CEO, what you have as your goals, and then you as a marketing manager get to decide the best way to actually accomplish these goals. So it's a lot of planning, a lot of development, a lot of critical thinking and strategic thinking in being a marketing manager. So data analysis, competitor analysis, you might be doing the hands-on data analysis or translating what that means into actual business decisions. Taking that market research provided by your marketing research team and then making decisions based off of it. So this is very much an important role in any business as a decision maker, as a very strategic position. Creative and innovative thinking are therefore essential to this type of position. I was about to call it a degree, to this type of career choice. And as you can see, there's a high indicative average salary. Typically, this isn't the career you would graduate and then start immediately. What you would do is start in another marketing role and within a couple of years build up into being a marketing manager when you have a bit more boots on the ground experience. Okay, so I'm happy to speak to any questions in the Q&A right after this about the marketing major sequence in the Bachelor of Commerce. For right now, I'm going to move on to talk about the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. So much like with the marketing major, starting with the course overview, this degree started in the year 2020. T1 2020 was our first intake. So the information here is a little bit less in terms of ATAR. So we have our first intake ATAR for Burwood campus, but not for Cloud campus because unfortunately, we just don't have quite enough numbers yet to provide you with a full indicative ATAR. But that Burwood ATAR does give you kind of a snapshot of what to expect from this degree. Note, it's only on 2 of our campuses. So we have an intake here at the Burwood campus and Cloud campus in both T1 and T2. Once again, I'm not going to read all of the information on the screen for you, leave it up for a minute for you guys. But I do want to highlight, once again, no maths. We are looking at an English score here. In this case, it's a little bit higher than the BCom English score. And so that's one minor difference, but they're very similar though. And the application, once again, through the same portal. So happy to speak to any of the information on this slide in the Q&A right after, but I am going to move on to the course structure. So as you can see here, these degrees are actually quite different from one another. We're in the Bachelor of Commerce with the marketing major sequence. Make sure I say that correctly. In the Bachelor of Commerce, what you have in that first year is a lot of other business units. What you have in this degree, you still have the MMK 101 marketing fundamentals, but all these HPS units, those are units for psychology. And we have 13 psychology units over the course of this degree. One of those psychology units is this research capstone towards the very end, 327. So that's coming in from psychology. We also have mandatory work integrated learning. So MWL 101 in that year 1, trimester 2, highlighted in pink, that is our professional insight unit, and it helps you work on career skills that are going to be important to you moving forward, including interviews, resume building, etc. That will help you in the MWL elective that you'll be doing at the end of trimester 2 of your second year. What that actually looks like is an internship placement that you might go and do with a company, or a business clinic that you might do here within the School of Business, where small or medium enterprises come and ask for some business insight. And we provide small tailored consultancy groups around a business problem for them, and a range of other opportunities. And then of course that research methods capstone that you're doing towards the end. So clear differences between these degrees. If you're interested in the human mind, if you're interested in psychology, if you're interested in understanding why do consumers do what they do? Why do they behave in the manner that they do? Why do I shop like that? Why do I buy like that? Why does my friend shop like that? I'm interested in that consumer behavior side of things. Why do people act the way they do? How can I understand how groups of people respond to each other? But you still want to go into a bit of a marketing side of things, this would be the right degree for you. The graduate outcomes, so there's some similarities and some differences between this and the Bachelor of Commerce marketing major sequence. So we are seeing, you would go into a marketing career with this, that remains the same, but this is a more tailored, more focused career that involves that psychological aspect. So customer success managers, you might be a consumer behavior researcher, consumer marketing researcher, customer journey designer, engagement specialists and experience officers. Those are, once again, some of that digital space. We're now talking about customer journey, customer engagement, customer experience. It's this very fundamental aspect of marketing to understand, especially because so much of that journey is happening in an online space these days, even before 2020. Customer insights translator. So what that actually means is the person who takes the data output, the analysis and the analytic side of things, and is able to draw real human insights. It's about taking that signal from the noise when it comes to data and providing actionable paths forward for decision makers. This is what this means. These are the insights we can glean from our market research. It is an important and growing field. Digital directors, analytics, communications experts, consumer advocacy, having the psychological side can help you with consumer advocacy if that's something you're interested in. Public relations, specifically marketing public relations, a lot of opportunities here. And I am, once again, going to give you a snapshot of what a career might look like in this field. So market researcher. So this is conducting market research on consumers using that psychological knowledge, data analysis information, and then taking that and providing it to people who can then make decisions with it as well, and suggesting possibly the best route forward with those decisions, with those insights. So qualitative and quantitative research, so there's surveys, depth interviews, focus groups, observational studies, online experiments, A/B testing, all of these sorts of things. So what you're doing is taking that data, whether it's interview data or whether it's online experiments, and you're analyzing it for patterns and translating that, working with, for instance, a marketing manager in order to make the best strategic business decision. So once again, creative and innovative thinkers, people who want to have their hands, their boots on the ground, their hands in the information, and strong analytical skills would help you with this particular degree as well. So that's looking at a $70,000 a year indicative average salary, but this would be more of kind of an entry position than a market manager, which is something that you do more mid-career. So that is a snapshot of the degrees and a bit of a difference between the degrees. I'm conscious of time, so I don't want to go into too much more detail, but definitely please do ask me Q&As after this, questions that you have about either of those degrees, content, or what you would learn in the units. Happy to provide that information. Some of the things that exist in these degrees are accreditation. Both our marketing major sequence and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology are accredited through the Australian Marketing Institute, and we're very pleased with that information. This definitely sets our marketing sequence apart from some of the other competitors in this space. And it is something that provides you with the opportunity to have an AMI membership upon graduation, and just opportunities for developing your network and your marketing knowledge for the rest of your life. The Bachelor of Marketing Psychology is duly accredited because it also has accreditation through the Australian Psychological Accreditation Council. And you can ask me afterwards if you're curious about what that provides. We do have a marketing careers night once a year, opportunities for students to get to know industry experts and people who talk about their marketing careers and what they've experienced, maybe now more than ever in the 2020 era, how these careers are shifting over time. We have an excellent marketing advisory board, and we do have high-level marketing officers from a whole bunch of different, very excellent, very wonderful companies, industries here in Australia, and global companies as well. And they provide us with information and insight. Work integrated learning, so I've talked a little bit about that. Mandatory work integrated learning experience in the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, but in the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major, you can still do this work integrated learning. It's not mandatory, but the opportunity is still there, and I would highly encourage you students to take it up. Even if you're not a little bit nervous to do a full internship, there's a lot of other ways to do a work integrated learning opportunity, and they're excellent at expanding your portfolio, giving you experience, and helping you when you do graduate and want to go pursue a career in the marketing space. We also have authentic assessments in a lot, I would say most, at least, of our marketing units. So what that means is working on a case study with a real company who comes in, maybe does a guest lecture, and then provides you with, here's our business problem, what do you students have to provide us with some insight into what we can be doing better, and some partnerships with various companies. So some of those assessments, at least in the unit I teach, and the ones that some of my friends have taught and some of my colleagues in the marketing department, we've paired with Bendigo Bank, Better Cup, Metricon Homes, ID Pet, Hamden Travel and Cruise, and several others. So you can see that we're not limited to just one industry. We are really drawing from a lot of different industries for those assessments. Other things I want to mention, you can, I know travel is a little bit different right now, but hopefully in the future, as things open up again, get work ready and explore the world. So cultural engagement, I haven't mentioned till now, but one of our work integrated learning opportunities, because there's a couple of different ones that you can do, like I said, internships in these in-house business clinics, but another one you can do is actually traveling. You can do a global experience, a cultural experience. You can volunteer as well. Or you can, if you're curious, you can actually, if you have a job right now, work within your existing company on a new project or a new role within that company if you don't want to have to go out and find a new company to work for or to volunteer with for a semester. So there's a lot of opportunities around that. But if travel is safe in the future over the course of your degrees, having a cultural engagement internship or study abroad tour, I highly recommend taking. It's great opportunities there. Like I said, there's consultancy experiences. We also have entrepreneurship experiences, industry-based learning, study tours, and just in general, study abroad opportunities for students. So highly recommend for personal experience, also to build your portfolio, to meet other highly engaged students, to travel and see the world, and to learn something that you might not if you just stayed here at home. A little bit more on the travel side of things, trimester abroad, study programs, international volunteering, exchange programs. But I will say, especially for the marketing major in that Bachelor of Commerce sequence, you would see something more like student exchanges or international volunteering. So if you're highly interested in doing, for instance, a couple of trimesters abroad, I'm not saying you couldn't do it in the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, but this is definitely something that a lot of students in the Bachelor of Commerce are interested in. So we do have a lot of partner universities around the world, so you certainly wouldn't be restricted in terms of where you want to go. It's a bit of the sky's the limit. I do want to speak really briefly to our Deakin Accelerate program. So for those of you high school students in the audience today, this is one of our programs that allows students to come and take, high school students currently studying, to come and take a couple of our units here at Deakin and get that experience of what it's going to be like to take university level classes and take that for college credit, university credit for when you actually do, if you come to Deakin, take that unit. So you would already have a couple of units under your belt. Here in marketing, these are marketing fundamentals, so the MMK 101 that I said all Bachelor of Commerce students have to take, even if you're not hoping to be a marketing student. I hope if you're here in the audience today that you are, but even if you're not, taking that MMK 101 fundamentals is a great opportunity. I genuinely recommend this. If you're a current high school student, you're studying online anyway right now, you might as well earn university credit if you have the time and if you're a little bit interested or excited about these opportunities. Consumer behavior is another one of our units, so that's MMK 266. It's a very fun unit, and like I said, Bachelor of Marketing Psychology is really focused on this. So if this is something that you're thinking about as your future potential career, as the degree you might be interested in taking, highly recommend taking these 2 units to give you a taste of whether this is the right path for you. Those will let you know. A little bit about pathways. So for those of you who are maybe a little bit worried about the ATAR, thinking about coming in from a non-traditional pathway, both the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology and the Bachelor of Commerce have opportunities like qualifications from Deakin partner institutions, TAFEs, other organizations. You could transfer from a Deakin-related course. If you have Deakin Accelerate, that can also help boost your ATAR. Then you've got some existing credits and you can demonstrate you've done well in those units. You can transfer, so you can start out, for instance, studying on the cloud, which has a bit of a lower ATAR, and then transfer into the Burwood campus once we go back offline, although we're always a little bit online, back to a located learning experience. So there are alternate pathways if you're curious about those as well. There are a number of student services available for you. Student clubs and societies, we have a Delta Marketing Club that you can get involved with, regardless of whether you're in the marketing major sequence or the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, that's open to you. We do have graduate recruitment services, mentorship programs, which I highly recommend being involved with, actually. We have a lot of opportunities for mentorship throughout the course of your degree. And then, of course, there's also services we provide, such as Medical Center, Student Hub, Academic Skills, Deakin Talent, which I've already mentioned. And they're basically our career team who will help provide you with some career coaching skills to be ready for when you go out as a graduate to get your career. Counseling services for mental well-being, emotional well-being, peer-assisted study sessions, and online study support services. So I want to highlight that those of you who might be a little bit hesitant about all the different things at university, all the challenges it's going to throw you, all the things it's going to ask you to do, although we have no required maths score entering either of these 2 degrees, you might take the analytics unit, MIS 171. If you're hesitant about that, we do have maths mentors, including maths for commerce portal, so specific for business degrees, maths help. Preparing for study for those of you who are a little bit hesitant and not quite sure how to organize your time, English language development skills, information on all the different assignment types, many of which, by the way, your unit chairs, your instructors will provide you with a lot of advice and assistance on how to approach these assignments, writing skills, a very easy to use reference guide for when you have to go and source your assignments, and then just information for all of those who are new to Deakin. So a lot of information provided to you. We take our support services very seriously, and we try and give you as much information as you can for when you're ready for it to help you succeed. Deakin Talent I've already spoken to throughout. So like I said, career coaching, career resources, employer events. So we have some in the marketing department, but also some provided by Deakin Talent. And all that being said, it's not too surprising that Deakin is a very high-achieving university in terms of the satisfaction we get from our students. So we have a very long, and proud history of having very satisfied students who are happy with the support that they receive, and we hope that you choose to be one of them. Right now, all of our courses are available in online study and are not just available for online study, but are designed to be delivered in an online format that provides engagement and connection and active learning, despite the fact that we're currently socially distant. We have all of these connections with industry. We have work integrated learning for you, very comprehensive IT services, a highly integrated Deakin Sync platform, just a lot of ways that we try and make your study experience as positive as it possibly can be here at Deakin. Like I said, this Deakin Sync online portal, it does provide you with links quick to your Deakin email, access to the library, you can chat with librarians, easy access to your unit site, so that's all your class websites right there for you, just a little click of a button away. Study support, all those services that I just mentioned, right there. You don't have to go looking for them. They're right at your immediate online portal that has kind of everything that you need, plus university news, special events, and activities. So why choose Deakin? Well, like I said, our students are satisfied. We work very hard to try and keep that. And work very hard to give you the best experience you can possibly have here at Deakin. All right, I'll see you in just a moment.